Okay, so very first video, just got off work, um, still in work clothes and all that. Looking a little bit rough, but I wanted to at least start somewhere because I've been saying, oh, I'm going to load videos, oh, I'm going to start, and I have yet to do it. So this will just be my first one test run. I still have to kind of get some stuff in order. Anyway, so it has been 10 days since the surgery, and everything has been going really good. First, so I guess I need to start from the beginning, since I didn't document any of that stuff. I didn't vlog any of that. So the trip there, let's start with that. The trip there, I rode United economy. It was horrible ride. I was all smushed up and I hated it, but I rode United first class back and it was much more comfortable. So keep that in mind when you're going. You want to either get, because I did basic economy going there because it didn't really matter, but I needed the comfort coming back. So coming back, try to do at least like premium economy or first class if you can. I did first class and I was much more comfortable coming back. But anyway, when I arrived at the airport, first of all, the group that I went through was Pompeii Surgical, awesome group. Dr. Kenonis did my sleeve. When you arrive at the airport, you text your driver to let them know where you are. They pick you up. They take you to the facility. When I first got to the facility, my first thoughts was like, it's hot in here. Downstairs is warm. When you first go in there, it's warm, and it made me kind of triggered all sorts of things because I was kind of scary, But when you go back to the rooms, it's totally different. It's cool, actually a little extra, kind of cold in the back, and immaculately clean. The staff was in white and they were pure white uniforms. The translators are in gray, but the fact that the nurses were in white, I like that for some reason. I'm just weird that way, but the color white is hard to keep clean, and they were crispy white, not dingy white. They were wearing white. The room itself, the bathroom, everything was immaculately clean. I mean, nothing that I have yet to go to a facility here in the States and see it be that clean. I mean, you have some clean hospitals here, but this place was really, really clean. And so when you get there, you fill out all your paperwork, you pay your down payment, they take you to the back. I didn't have to do any cardiac testing or anything like that. So this is my experience. Some people may have had it, different experience because they probably had to have additional testing. I didn't have to have any of that. So they take you to the back. They get you prepared like immediately, like you have your whole little outfit laying out there for you. They were, kind of teasing like, hey, here's your Prada outfit and your Prada shoes and all that. So you have your gown, your cap, your shoes, and your compression hose. Everything was fine except for those compression hose. The compression hose gave me a run for my money. I had no idea what I was doing. It took me almost an hour to get those things on, and finally I was like, why am I trying to do this? Let me just call the nurse, right? So I called the nurse, and he came in and got them up for me just like that. And so everything was fine after that. So then you wait. Then you get your IV. Okay, no, let's talk about the IV. So right now, in the support group, there's, posts going around about the IV experience there. And it was a little different than the States, but that's to be expected. Of course, you're in a different country, so things are going to be a little off, but it wasn't something that would make you say, oh my God, I should never go to this place. But the first stick, and I'm a very verbal person. I'm not going to let you do something to my body that I don't want done. And so the first stick, they tried to put it like right here in your arm, I don't know if you can still see that, because that they tried to put it right there. And I told him immediately. I was like, no, that's not gonna work. Well, the nurse that I talked to, he didn't speak much English. He, tried. So I got my translator in there, and I let him know. I was like, look, could you let him know that this is not gonna work? He's not gonna get a good stick there. And the nurse was like telling him to tell me, just hold still. He almost had it. Well, he kept jabbing at it, and it hurt, and I screamed, and it scared him, and he took it out. Okay. And then I showed him the veins in my arms, and I told him, hey, this is where all my IVs go. I need you to put it, in the bend of my arm. So, one of the other nurses came in. I guess she heard me scream. Maybe she got concerned. She came in, and she's like, I told her, and she could speak really good English. Her name is Roxana, by the way. She is absolutely amazing. Like, I wish I could take her here. She could be my nurse. She's awesome. Anyway, so she got my stick in less than a minute, and I didn't feel anything, and that was that. That was the end of it. Now, I'm very observant. Regardless, it doesn't matter if I am high on medicine, if I have sleep, whatever. I'm very observant. I focus. I guess it's a superpower. I focus. Anyway, but I paid attention to my IV because I felt that I had to. And I'm like that even in the States. I always pay attention to my IV. There was a time where the fluids had ran out, and so blood started backlogging up the tube, and I called her, and they fixed it. She didn't flush it back up my arm or anything like that. She unscrewed it, she flushed it out in the trash. They did like a little heparin lock to make sure there was no clots or anything. So it was fine. That was the only situation that I had. Now, my IV did infiltrate after the surgery, but I'll get to that. So anyway, so after IV was in and everything, I was just left to sit and wait. I saw the surgery board when I was going to the room, so I knew I was going to be last. I saw my name and number 5 by it, so I was like, oh, well, they only do about 5 to 6 surgeries a day, so I know I'm going to be number 5. Well, I was number 5, but then they bumped me down because they had to do like I guess somebody else, or maybe I don't know. But anyway, at the end of the day, I was last. So I sat there for hours, just kind of posting in the group, looking through the group, praying, meditating, things like that, trying to keep my mind right. And around the time that it was time for me to go back, I got my nerves got bad. And I wanted some of the drops. They have these things called sleepy drops, but it's like a Valium. They put it under your tongue, calm all the way down. So once I knew my time was coming, I got anxious, nervous, all that stuff, and they came. I told them what was going on. They talked to me, and then they gave me the drops, and then I was fine. I was, kind of laid back and was like, okay, I'm ready. So anyway, they came and got me for surgery. I really honestly don't know what time it was, and when they come get you for surgery, they take you up to the OR. Well, they wheel you up to the OR. Now, the OR is actually upstairs, so you have to walk up the stairs. When I got to the OR, and I was in the bed, there was one of the guys came, and my mouth was really, really dry. I didn't have to say anything to him. I just kept doing this, and I was all, pasty dry. And he just offered. He was like, hey, you want some water you can swish around your mouth? He's like, don't tell nobody that I did it, and please don't swallow because I'll get in trouble. So anyway, he brought me the water. I swished my mouth around. He sat there and talked to me for a little bit, just so I wouldn't be lonely waiting on the surgeon and the anesthesiologist to come out and talk to me. He left, and maybe about 10, 15 minutes later, Dr. Q came out. No, the anesthesiologist came out. And the anesthesiologist is gorgeous. Okay, he is gorgeous. He came out, and I immediately looked at him like, hi, how are you? But anyway, he came out, talked to me, and I was expecting for him to, I don't know why I would expect for him not to speak English very well or whatever, but he was very educated, and regular anesthesiologist talk, and I felt comfortable with him putting me under. He explained to me everything that was going to go on, asked me questions and all that. So then as soon as he left, Dr. Q comes out, he talks and kind of explained to me how everything goes, and he asked me if I had any questions, and I had done so much research, I didn't have many questions for him, but I did ask him, was he tired, because I was the last one, and I just wanted to be sure he was well, he was ready for this last one, Anyway, he told me, he was just like, yeah, he was like, no, I'm not tired, I'm good. He was like, even though you're the last one, but I treat everybody's going to get the same treatment. He was like, this is equal. He was like, there have been some times before where, it's at the end of the day and I'm tired and I'll say, let's just wait till tomorrow because I'm not ready. And for him to say that gave me comfort for some reason, because I felt like, okay, well, he knows, that if he's not capable of performing the surgery, he's not going to do it. And that set well with me. So next thing I know, I'm on the operating table. Now the lady had my head, like I was laying flat, like just flat, and I'm like way too big for that, so I was like, could you lift my head up some? I didn't want to be flat, during surgery, being put under. So she was like, oh sure. So she kind of lifted my head up and I was comfortable. So I'm laying there waiting, and then the anesthesiologist comes out. Whatever he shot in that IV took like less than 10 seconds, and I was sitting there like blinking and trying to fight the urge to go to sleep. And then he kept telling me to breathe in, and I was breathing, but I was like, okay, I'm breathing. He was like, well, right now this is just oxygen. I haven't put anything in here yet. And then I don't remember what happened after that. I woke up. That's all I remember. So it was like 5 seconds for me, because my surgery itself actually was 35 minutes, because they give you the little flash drive to show you the surgery and all that. Anyway, so when I woke up, I was not prepared for what I felt when I woke up. When I woke up, I felt like I got hit by a bus. I felt like something ran me over. And I have a pretty high pain tolerance. It wasn't so much pain. I can't describe it. It was like, I don't know. I just really can't describe it. But it was rather painful. I'm just being honest with you. I feel like there's nothing to hide, I definitely don't regret it. I'm not in any pain now. I wasn't in any pain for long, but when I woke up, I was like, what? Okay. So I remember hitting the wall. I don't know why I hit the wall, but I just remember I slapped the shit out the wall and was just like, ow, and one of the translators came in. He's like, oh, you okay? You're awake. And he was just kind of, trying to comfort me and stuff. And I just kept asking him not to leave. I remember that. And then I remember dozing off. And then when I started coming to, I kept telling him, I was like, it hurts. He was just like, yeah, you just had surgery. He was like, you're okay. And, whatever. He was like, and I was like, I need pain. I was like, can you give me something for pain? He was like, I can't give you anything for pain until we get you to your room. And he was like, you have to be fully awake. And he was like, do you want to go to the room? And I was like, yes, let's go, And so now this is the difference when, from the States and being in a different country. Well, this particular facility, you have to walk down the stairs right after the surgery. And, in the States, we were used to being wheeled everywhere. But it wasn't a long walk. It's only maybe about 10 to 15 stairs to go down. They stand there with you. They make you take your time step by step by step. And the only reason you have to do that is because the OR is upstairs. There's no elevator or anything, and they can't get the wheelchair up and downstairs. But as soon as you get to the bottom, you're placed in your wheelchair and wheeled to your room, okay? Got to the room, and I just remember feeling like I needed to puke, but I did not want to puke because I was scared. I'm like, my stomach is going to pop open, and so I'm not going to puke. Well, I kept trying to hold it in, and that was the wrong thing to do. Let me tell you this. Puke, okay? You will feel 90% better after you puke. That was my problem. I didn't want to puke. I was scared to puke. I thought it was going to hurt really bad. It didn't hurt as bad as I thought. But I needed to puke. So I held it in for I don't know how long. But eventually, when they gave me the pain meds and stuff, and I just kept sitting up, and the man, he was like, ma'am, you need to get some rest. He was like, you gotta rest. And I was like, I can. And I was probably a horrible recovery patient, in the beginning. But and he was just like, well, what do you need? And he was trying to burp me, and they were awesome. Like, they really took care of me. They didn't leave my side. They made sure I was okay before, and they made sure. Let me finish the story first. So anyway, When I finally got the courage to puke the first time, I was like, oh, you know, I feel a little better. Well, I laid down for a couple of seconds and I woke up and I feel like I need to walk because of the gas. Okay, so I don't know what time of day it was, but I kind of walked in my room back and forth from the door to my bed for a second, but they were scared because they were like, I don't think you're woke enough to be doing that. But like I said, I'm verbal. I'm like, look, I'm okay. Just don't let me fall. I walked back and forth from the door to my bed, like maybe twice. And I got super nauseated. And I thought like, oh my God, I don't want to puke again. Maybe puking one time was enough. Well, then something in my mind was like, well, you remember the last time you puked, you felt better. So do it, right? So I did it. And it was blood. And it scared the shit out of me. I thought, okay, I'm dead. Somebody call my kids because I just puked up blood after surgery. It's over for me, right? Well, when I showed them the blood, they were like, yeah, that's normal. That's the residual coming off. You know, you just had half of your stomach removed. You still have blood there that needs to come out. That's why you have a drain and all that. So you're going to puke up a little blood, a little foam. And they were like, you know, it's fine. Well, okay, I heard it, but then I was like, okay, y'all just shitting me right now. You just want me to calm down. But I listened, okay? That was the second puke. And I felt better after that. I sat down on the bed. I asked her for something for pain. She came and gave me something for pain. They were rubbing my back once again, trying to burp me because they didn't want me to keep walking. I'm talking, I was like fresh out of surgery, probably like 2 or 3 hours out of surgery. Okay, so I was moving kind of fast, and I think they were scared. So when I sat down, that time she gave me some pain meds, and they were trying to keep me still. I don't know if I dozed off. I remember sitting on the side of the bed like this, and I was asleep. And they kept telling me lay down because they didn't want me to fall over, and I was like, no, you know, and I sat there. I don't know how long I sat there asleep on the side of the bed, but I sat there. And when I woke up, I wanted to walk again. I was like, okay, I gotta walk, right? And I go walk right to the door and got super nauseated. And this time I didn't fight it. I just puked. And it was less blood. It was more foam. And after that puke, and it was not like a constant, it was just more like a dry heave, like maybe twice. And then the puke came up. But this time, the third time, was a charm. It's like everything had flushed out of my system from that third puke. And I lay down and I went to sleep. But before that third puke, wait, I'm gonna backtrack. Before that third puke, the lady gave me like a whole bunch of sleepy drops. She was trying to knock my ass out because she was like, this girl needs to go to bed. She has not slept. And she is sitting up on the side of the bed, and instead of her going to bed, going to sleep, she's steady waking up, trying to walk and stuff. Let's knock her out before she falls over. So she gave me some sleepy drops before that third puke. And that worked because I was out. I don't remember anything after that. But I remember when I woke up, I felt like a totally different person. So those 3, 4, 5 hours of the recovery time that was painful and just, oh, what did I do to myself, did not last long at all. It was not long. When I went to sleep and woke up, I was a totally different person. I felt fine. So my kids are in here, and I guess they listen to the story. I guess it's funny to them, but they're playing a video game. Anyway, but so the next day, I was walking. I wasn't in any pain really. Just occasionally, like I felt the soreness, and I needed my pain meds or whatever, but I didn't have all the gas. And I was walking, and I was fine. I had my ice chips, and some people were like, oh, it was the best ice chips in the world. It probably was, but I just didn't want them. I had like 2 just to wet my mouth because my mouth was so dry. I had like a couple spoonfuls and I was good. I just didn't want it. So that was that night. Okay. So I went to sleep that night. Fine. Pain meds. I did ask for some stronger meds because those that they gave me weren't really just, I don't know. They ended up having to order some, and the doctor filled the prescription. I don't know what happened, but anyway, what they gave me afterwards was great. The next day we go to get the third drain test, because they do 2 drain tests, not drain tests, leak tests, while you're in surgery. And then you go for a third one to like an imaging facility. We had to drink the barium swallow, which was, it was disgusting. I'm okay with stuff like that because I've had to have stuff like that done so much, so it didn't just bother me so bad, but it did give me bad diarrhea, I will say that. So be careful, you will get diarrhea from that barium. But after that, came back, they gave you the popsicles. They're really good popsicles. They were kind of too sweet for me because I had gone off the sugar for the pre-op, and it was just something about them, so I really didn't want all that either. I wanted water. I just wanted water, but couldn't really drink that yet. You know, the best part of the thing to me was the barium, was the leak test that they give you with the dyed apple juice, the 4th one, the day that you're getting ready to go to the beach house. That one. That was good. It was apple juice, and it was delicious. But, yeah, getting ready to go to the beach house. They come, they take your drain out, they talk to you, they ask you if you're okay, and then you wait for your ride. You go to the beach house and you recover. And the beach house is gorgeous. Okay, I mean, look at my dog. He's been listening to the story. But anyway, the beach house is gorgeous, and it was a great way to recover. It was relaxing. I walked along the beach. I got a couple of seashells. They took us shopping. I got a couple of souvenirs for the kids. The recovery was really nice. The lady there, Karina, did I meet Miguel? I don't know if I met Miguel. But Karina, she fixed broth. She showed us all these little, it's a refrigerator there with apple juice, Gatorade, popsicles, and broth, and protein powder. He wants to know who I'm talking to. I'm talking to the people. You can't be involved in this. No. Get out. Anyway, he's messing up my video now. Move, Nicholas. Get back. Move. Anyway. So, yeah, that's pretty much the experience. This video was longer than I thought it would be. I will come back and make videos where I look like, you know, I don't look like I just been ran over. I've been at work all day. I'm tired. I haven't gotten a chance to relax or anything. But so far, my stats, I have lost 31 pounds since pre-op. And that's about 3 weeks ago. So definitely working. I did move to my puree stage a couple of days sooner than I should have, and it's only because I felt like my body could have, but that'll be a whole different video. I just wanted to give the full experience, my experience there, and just kind of get this vlogging thing started since I didn't start. But I will be back with other videos to talk about other things, like week 1 back home and stuff like that, where I am now and all that. So thank you for watching, and, you know, leave comments, subscribe, whatever. And my kids are so funny, but leave comments, subscribe, whatever, and just X away. My channel will not hold back anything. I won't be deleting any bloopers. If I mess up, I mess up. Because in real life, right, you cannot go back and say, oh, wait, pause, let me trim this off because I didn't mean to say that. If it's a real conversation, it's a real conversation, you know? So you will get real answers from me. I don't feel the need to trim or cut off bloopers or anything. But anyway, next video will be better. I promise, better quality, and, you know, you could probably see me a little bit better. I've had this one kind of directly in my face. But thank you. I will talk to you guys later.